trouble. It is disturbing of some of the things that's happening and the attitudes that are taking place in the white community and the black community as we become more polarized, more divided, more hatred. There must be a togetherness and a concern for one another if we are going to survive.
Dr. Andrew Brown was the Indiana Martin Luther King. He was Dr. King's lieutenant here, and he was the one chosen, the chosen one here. And if today your soul, the soul of this community, is a little cleaner, then you can thank Dr. Andrew Brown.
When America entered the Second World War, Andrew John Brown, Jr., a young seminary student from Indianapolis, joined the Army as a field chaplain. One winter, while working in a munitions depot, Brown rescued two fellow soldiers from a near-fatal accident with poisonous gases. The soldiers survived, but the mustard gas badly scarred Brown's leg. Doctors told him they would have to amputate and sent him to a special whites-only hospital to perform the operation. Because of his race, he was not allowed to stay in the hospital, but rather on the back porch, where he was forced to stretch out between two lawn chairs.
It was in the holidays, Christmas holidays, very cold. He was the only black soldier at that hospital, and he was on a back porch, cold, and there was no one to visit him, nobody. And I guess we said after midnight or something, one of the nurses, Red Cross nurses, came out on the porch, and she had a couple of apples and oranges and things for him, and she apologized for him having to suffer this way, and she felt the indignities were uncalled for and whatnot.
Late that night, Brown prayed to God to save his leg, promising that if God saw him through this troubling time, he would devote his life to fighting social injustice. Within a few weeks, Andrew J. Brown walked out of the hospital on his own power.
He was destined to do his promise then, and that was really his real push. He never forgot it. He repeated it often.
When this life is over,
Brown accepted the post as minister of St. John's Missionary Baptist Church in Indianapolis. Reverend Brown used St. John's as the launching pad for his new social gospel. He founded a community organization, the Indianapolis Social Action Council, ISAC, that catapulted him into the political spotlight. It was through ISAC that Reverend Brown met another early civil rights proponent, Congressman Andy Jacobs.
Love thy enemy, love thy adversary, love God's children. You'd be surprised at the miracles that happen, the magnificent obsession, one writer called it. That's what he did. He helped the white people in this country remove the cancer of hypocrisy from the body politic.
Bill Crawford was a member of the Black Radical Action Project, a militant social action group in the city, and often disagreed with Reverend Brown's theories of nonviolent protest. But when Crawford finally met Brown, he was so impressed he decided to join ISAC.
He did not lead from the back. From his office, he was out front of the marches. I was inspired by the man. I was moved by him. He was so eloquent, and at the same time, he was able to communicate in a fashion that was easily understandable.
Father Boniface Hardin, a young Benedictine priest and community activist, became an ardent follower of Reverend Brown's social gospel.
But there was this sense of directness to the issue. Dr. Andrew J. Brown would be able to go right to the essence of something, but he would say, this is something that we've got to change. We've got to confront the city officials. And a lot of times, you know, These were his friends, you know, in downtown, you know, the mayor or whatever, city county council, you know, these were people that he knew very well. He said, we've really got to go in there, we've really got to put it on the line, and we got to make a change.
Brown often led Southern revivals at the invitation of his close friend, Alabama minister Ralph Abernathy. After one rally, Abernathy introduced Brown to a 28-year-old civil rights activist by the name of Martin Luther King Jr. Brown and King became fast friends, and King soon convinced the Indianapolis minister to form a northern branch of his new Southern Christian Leadership Conference. In the spring of 1969, violence erupted at Shortridge High School in Indianapolis.
The Indianapolis public school system had a reputation of treating African American students as second class. So students at Shortridge was a group of beautiful young students who simply said, we're not going to take it anymore, and they staged demonstrations.
School administrators called the police, who stormed in with tear gas and nightsticks, pulled the demonstrators into the street, and beat them. Reverend Brown knew the Indiana Christian Leadership Conference needed to respond to the incident immediately before riots and other explosive acts of retaliation surfaced. Brown staged a march from his downtown church to the governor's mansion as a form of nonviolent protest. Brown's close friend, Reverend Jesse Jackson, agreed to join the rally.
The governor's mansion was ringed with state troopers, and they were in battle dress.